Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Weekly with head coach Sean Miller. Cats hit the road for their first conference road games of the season, Wednesday at Stanford, Saturday at California. More on those coming up. Coach, congratulations. Great start. Anytime you can win those first two out of the gate, get them done at home. Two outstanding basketball games, in particular the Utah game, which was a great atmosphere, outstanding overtime victory. As you look back at it now, a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. The ability to take care of the ball and to get to the free throw line, and how much did those play a factor in the win?
Well, very much so, Brian. As you know, we talk a lot about taking care of the ball because you can't score if you don't shoot. And a lot of times the hidden stat is when you turn it over, you're almost giving the other team free points. You know, we had a couple of those. You know, you shoot the gap, you get a steal, you go down and you dunk it, changes the momentum of the game. And those are points that teams can score against your defense without you even playing defense. So especially this year, because of the way our team's made up, being able to have long stretches without turnovers, playing with 10 or fewer, and having maybe games where we can be in the single digits, which I believe we can do, is one way we can offset maybe a disadvantage sometimes we have around the basket. And when we've done that this year, when we've taken care of the ball, you can really see the importance of that stat. That's when our team has been at its best. And played an overtime game with 12, we'll take that.
Chase Jeter, double-double, outstanding ball game, tied his career high in points, new career high in rebounds, and played a lot of minutes too. And one thing early in the season, you were able to kind of keep guys under that 30-minute mark. So maybe highlight his performance in particular, considering how much time he put on the floor.
Well, it was great to see him play that many minutes without fouling as well, because he was up against a number of hard, difficult things to guard. One is not just one 7-footer, but two. And then his importance on ball screen defense. When you're dealing with a guy like Cedric Bearfield, it's not just the player guarding Bearfield, it's our big guy who a lot of times has equal responsibility to slow him down and stop him. So for Chase to have that many minutes and be as productive as he was, it says a lot about him, because he played without fouling under those conditions. And that's something that we've talked to him about. It's kind of like that game within the game. Being able to play long stretches without fouling. No different than our team being able to play long stretches without turning the ball over. You know, those are things that really help us win.
Life is what you make it, full of endless possibilities and opportunities at every corner. In our fast-paced world, Hughes helps you with what matters most, delivering dreams, adding value to your life. Where you bank matters. For you, your family, and your future. We are local, rooted in the community you call home. Join us on the journey of life. Hughes Federal Credit Union, ranked the #1 credit union in Arizona by Forbes.
Wildcat Basketball Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union.
Play Stanford on Wednesday night at Maples Pavilion. The Cardinals got some height, 6 players at 6'8" or bigger. What is the makeup? How does this Stanford team look to you right now?
Well, on defense, they play 3 different defenses. They play a 1-3-1, which they kind of drop into a zone. They play a 2-3 zone, and then they play a man-to-man. And they try to use their size to their advantage. They have what I think is one of the best overall players in the Pac-12 on their team, Opala. And Dejon Davis is very good as well, and they have a number of others. But I'll highlight Opala because he's their leading scorer. He was very good as a freshman a year ago, and he's added a 3-point shooting arsenal to what he's already done. And he's a very difficult matchup because when you talk about height, I would consider him almost a 6'8" guard. And their height isn't necessarily just around the front court. They have big guards. Dejon Davis is a very big point guard. And again, size is something you feel in a game. You try to make a pass, you can't see. You know, you shoot a shot, and it just doesn't seem like you're open. And they really have that for sure.
All right, Stanford's offensive numbers may not jump out at you, but they've been a very good rebounding team so far this season. So you take that height and go back to the Utah game and your team's ability to defensive rebound. is that going to be a major statistic to watch on Wednesday?
Right. So the one thing we did a great job of against Utah, and we really did an excellent job against Colorado in the first half, is defensive rebound. That's plagued us throughout our season. Our worst moments have come when we've given teams second shots. Nothing good happens when they get more than one shot. And as you know, Brian, we try to pride ourselves in that area. So for us this year, it's a collection of players trying to get defensive rebounds, not relying just on our big guys, but our guards, guys like Dylan Smith. And Dylan has really done a great job embracing that role. But we have to do that this week in the Bay, for sure.
Only two conference teams won a road game in the first weekend, Utah and Oregon State. Just given the balance and the makeup of the league right now, is winning on the road going to be more difficult this season than you've seen in recent years?
I don't know if it'll be more difficult, and it's so early in the season that it's tough to make too big of a deal about who won, who lost. But I can make the case that winning at home is the most important thing. You know, when you consider the value of playing 2 games in 3 days or 2 games in 4 days, and we all have equal amount, 9 home games. You know, what your overall record is at home is a big deal when it comes to conference play. Winning on the road is difficult. You know, if you evaluate just us, when we've won the conference championship, we've been able to win 5 or more games, maybe one time 4. But the common theme is how we did at home. And that is, you want to be very, very difficult to beat. When you drop a home game, you almost have to make it up on the road. And I'm sure that's how both Oregon and Arizona State are looking at it.
All right, Cats and the Cardinal Wednesday night at Maples Pavilion. And Saturday night, Arizona visits Berkeley to take on the Cal Bears. And we'll see you next time on Wildcat Weekly.
Thank you for watching Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the free U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.